What's going on, everyone? So we got some good news and some maybe not great news for the Miami Heat in a potential Damian Lillard trade. So there's reports circulating that the Charlotte Hornets quickly emerging as a potential third team in a Damian Lillard to Miami trade. Hornets have their eyes set on Tyler Herro to pair with LaMelo Ball. Now, personally, I don't really understand it from the Hornets' perspective, right? Like, look, Tyler Herro is a great player, and he's a guy that could absolutely make an impact, but how does a LaMelo Ball, Tyler Herro front court work? But that's neither here nor there. That is great news for Miami if Charlotte is willing to do that, right? Because one, the Portland Trailblazers do not want Tyler Herro. And so if they can flip him into more assets from the Charlotte Hornets for like a first round pick and maybe some players, then maybe they can work out a deal and kind of get some more assets to the Portland Trailblazers for a Miami Heat trade. But what is Charlotte going to give up is the question. Charlotte definitely has players that could be very interesting to the Portland Trailblazers, but I don't know what players Charlotte would be willing to give up that's not named Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. However, I do think that those could still work, right? So like, for example, if it's a 3-team deal, Terry Rozier does make some sense so does Gordon Hayward to an extent, right? Both guys kind of make some sense for Miami because if they do a trade for Damian Lillard, they're going to need just bodies. Terry Rozier, yes, he's an undersized guard, but he kind of gives you like a Dame light, right? That can come in and provide some scoring off the bench. If Damian Lillard has the night off or something, it gives you a guy that can step in and be a scoring guy. And again, they just need bodies. Gordon Hayward would be a nice, sizable, switchable, versatile wing that can do multiple things, and I think would actually be a very nice fit with Miami. Problem is his injury concerns, and he's making like $30 million a year, but he's also an expiring contract. So I could see Hayward going out in some type of deal because neither side would have to take on long-term salary, right? Where Terry Rozier, he's still got like 3 years left on his deal. So which team would be willing to take him? Although maybe Miami doesn't really care because, hey, they're already locked in with everything that they got already. So we'll see. But more likely than not, my guess is like Hayward goes out, Herro comes in plus whatever filler or whatever. And then Hayward is also a salary that helps facilitate Nurkic and Damian Lillard to Miami, right? And then maybe like Duncan Robinson or something like that goes to Charlotte, and then they work it out, right? That is definitely something that I could see happening and could be a huge benefit to the Miami Heat to kind of like, hey, we're going to give you more assets. Here's some more picks or whatever. We unloaded Tyler Herro, so that way you don't have to worry about that. We'll take Nurkic. We'll take, Damian Lillard, so you clear off salary, which has value in and of itself. And now you can start seeing the puzzle pieces kind of lining up for the Miami Heat to potentially acquire Damian Lillard. And again, for Charlotte, sure, I guess. Right? Again, I'm not super sold on that, but that's neither here nor there. The sort of bad news, though, is that we continue to get these reports that teams beyond the Miami Heat are considering trading for Damian Lillard. And like I said yesterday, because there were a report yesterday that an Eastern Conference team has emerged in the conversations, and I kind of made a video speculating which teams that might be. The problem for Miami is that like they are kind of in this bind where they don't have what it takes by themselves to go get Damian Lillard. Because if they did, it would already be done. They need to go and work out with other teams, and so they're kind of at the mercy of other teams. If, a Oklahoma City or like a Utah or something like that, who have a treasure trove of picks and players and all kinds of stuff, they want to come in and swoop up Damian Lillard, Miami can't really do anything about that. Miami's kind of at the mercy of, other teams probably helping and facilitating. And, like a team like the Nets. The Nets was another team that was on Damian Lillard's radar that he publicly said he'd be interested in going to. And so does a team like the Nets come in and swoop him in, We saw what happened with the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell, where the Knicks thought it was done, Mitchell thought it was done, everything was good, smooth sailings, they were just kind of working out the semantics, and then boom, here comes Cleveland, and they end up swooping in and taking Donovan Mitchell. Does a team end up coming and doing that to the Miami Heat, where Miami's working really hard, they're working behind the scenes, they're doing everything they can to go get Damian Lillard, and some team pops up and says, hey, we got this for you, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, that's great, let's do it. It happens, right? Like, again, I don't know how many teams are lining up to trade for Damian Lillard, right? Like, to me, these reports sound more of like the Portland Trailblazers trying to put more pressure on Miami, right? Because, like, whenever you hear these reports, whenever you see this stuff, it's like, who do these type of things benefit, right? Like, the Charlotte report benefits Miami because Miami can unload Tyler Herro, get some more assets, and potentially go get Damian Lillard. But the reports of other teams now involved, when no other teams could care less a month ago, all of a sudden all these teams are coming to the board making offers for Dame, and it's like, where was this prior? But that really helps Portland, right? It's like, hey, Miami, keep sleeping. We got this team over here. You know, we got the Nets, or we got Oklahoma City, or we got whomever, right? These teams are interested in Damian Lillard. And again, they're just talks. Like, I'm sure many teams have reached out to Portland and just gauged, like, what are you looking for from Dame? But having conversations and kind of getting a feel for what it might cost and actually making an effort to trade for him are very different things. But again, we've seen, and that's got to be a part of Miami in the back of their mind, of like, we need to get this done ASAP. Yes, the reports could be total nonsense. Maybe Portland doesn't have, maybe we're the only team, right? We very well may be the only team actively trying to go and acquire Damian Lillard. But do you, if you're Miami, want to take that chance? Do you want to play hardball and risk what happened to the New York Knicks, who they were that team, right? They were trying to play hardball. We're the only team trying to get Donovan Mitchell. We're the only team that has the assets to get Donovan Mitchell. Blah, 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 blah. And Danny Ainge found somebody that was willing to give something not as good as the Knicks reported trades were, but wasn't that far off from like some of those reports, and said, all right, fine, you want to play hardball? Here, let me be Tom Petty here and go and trade him to the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Like, and you saw that fallout. Well, Miami could be looking in the same boat, right? They could be dealing with the same picture of like, hey, do we want to take that chance? Do we want to take the risk of Portland saying, hey, this team, they're willing to give us, we don't get the players that Miami's giving us, but they'll give us more picks, right? Like, let's go do that. Let's go look here, right? Like, I don't know. It's just Miami's, I do expect this to get done within the next like week or so. I really do. Like, I think whether it's to Miami or it's somewhere else, I know Portland has said that they will keep Dame if they have to, and they're, you know, and that they're willing to go into training camp with them and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, obviously there is a part of that I'm sure is absolutely true. You know, there's a part of that I'm sure, you know, if Miami's just trying to trade peanuts or something, they're not going to just trade him just to trade him. But I do think that they want to, and it's in their best interest to unload Damian Lillard, especially before training camp. And if you're Miami, you get this done. You use Charlotte to kind of be that building block to get more pieces. If you have to take on a Gordon Hayward or you have to take on Terry Rozier, you do it because you're getting Dame in the deal. And you need bodies anyway because you're probably going to ship out 5 guys, right? Like, you're probably talking about like Hightower, Jacquez, Tyler Herro, right, is going to end up going out. You're probably talking Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry, and, you know, and maybe Jovic. So you're talking 5 to 6 guys that could potentially be going out in any type of Damian Lillard trade. So you probably get Nurkic, you probably get Dame, and you probably get a Rozier or something like that, right? And now you're just kind of filling in the gaps with whatever free agents that are still available out there and, undrafted guys. Because at that point, you just need bodies. You got more than enough, right? You'd have Nurkic, Bam, you'd have Josh Richardson, Jimmy Butler, Damian Lillard. You'd still have Thomas Bryant, Martin. You'd have enough talent to go make a push to try to win an NBA championship this year. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of this information? How do you feel about it? Do you love it? Hate it? Do you think Charlotte could be the heroes, come in and save the day? Let me know down in the comments.